What do Americans think of when they think of the hamburger? A robust, succulent spheroid of fresh ground beef, the birthright of red-blooded citizens? Or a styrofoam-shrouded Big Mac, mass-produced to industrial specifications and served by wage slaves to an obese, brainwashed population? These questions start Josh Ozersky's Cultural History of the Hamburger, a slim 133-page book that goes down as easily as a slider. By the time I'd finished it, I felt the need to bite into a burger and taste what he calls its special semiotic power. I went to the Shake Shack. Of all the burger options, it seemed right. The Shake Shack claims to be a modern-day roadside burger stand, and that's where Ozersky begins his history, chasing down the origins of the hamburger at state fairs and roadside restaurants in places like Seymour, Wisconsin, Hamburg, New York, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. I could have gone to White Castle. That's where the hamburger became fast food, the beef equivalent of the Ford motor car. On January 1st, 1926, Edgar Waldo Billy Ingram, one of the company's founders, brought in the new year by announcing in the company's newsletter. When the word hamburger is mentioned, one immediately thinks of the circus, or carnival, or the county fairs, or even the dirty, dingy, ill-lighted hole-in-the-wall down in the lower districts of the city. The day of the dirty, greasy hamburger is past. No more shall we be privileged to taste the hamburger at the circuses or carnivals only, for a new system has arisen, the White Castle system. The hamburger system had started. Ozersky's book tells the story of that system, how it was created by White Castle, how it was expanded through franchising by Big Boy, how it was perfected by McDonald's, how it was refined by Burger King and Wendy's, and, finally, how it was lambasted by critics, who see in McDonald's' $41 billion empire everything that's horrific about standardization, globalization, and fanged rabid capitalism. The hamburger, Ozersky says, had become the most powerful food object in the industrialized world. I could have gone with any of these more powerful burgers, but I went with the Shake Shack, because for me the greatest pleasure of Ozersky's book was returning to the early history of the burger. Not only the roadside stands and burger joints like the ones pictured here that I found in the Library of Congress, but also to the moment when the fast food industry was first building up speed. Back then, Americans didn't just endure mass-produced fast food burgers. They welcomed them. They wanted them. Standardization itself was exciting. Here's a 1932 brochure from White Castle. When you sit in a White Castle, remember that you are one of several thousands. You are sitting on the same kind of stool. You are being served on the same kind of counter. The coffee you drink is made in accordance with a certain formula. The hamburger you eat is prepared in exactly the same way over a gas flame of the same intensity. Even the men who serve you are guided by standards of precision which have been thought out from beginning to end. Today, this vision sounds ghastly, but back then, Americans were giddy for it. The same well-made burger for every belly across America, what could be more wonderful? As I chewed my Shack burger, I imagined its familiar flavors as the symbols of America's future. Crisp lettuce, ruby tomato, juicy patty and puffy bun, set off by a bright orange blanket of cheese. It tasted like optimism.